This is the Frat House Sports Show. And now for this week's completely different and humorous perspective on everything sports, here's Frat House Mike and Sidekick.
Wow. How's that for a new opener? And that's how we're kicking off our third year and our second anniversary from right here at the Hollywood Tavern in Huntington Valley, Pennsylvania, right here at 700 Huntington Pike. You know,
well, I don't know about you guys, but I need a drink.
This is as kind of the Rockledge area, because I believe, and I was explaining to you before, I think Rockledge actually starts, it might be either this line right here in front of us or the next light up. So I always kind of viewed this as Rockledge, but I lived right here in this area for the past 30 years. Many thanks to our friend Jim Williams for putting together that brand new opening together for us, and also many thanks to Bernadette and our friends here at the Hollywood Tavern for hosting us this evening on a special evening.
Yes, it is.
It was exactly 2 years ago this evening, Sidekick, that we sat down in front of a flip camera on a tripod to chat sports, and holy smokes, how far this has come in 105 weeks.
And looky, I don't have to medicate before the show.
Not anymore. You've gotten a little more.
You
didn't have anything at all yet before the show.
Nope.
Well, we'll have to see if we can arrange to get a waitress over here to get this guy something. Now, we have a new show title, and you will be seeing over the next number of weeks some formatting changes.
Yep.
Some things are going to remain the same. Some things will be very different. As we've kind of listened to our audience, and we'll be doing more analysis and chat. That's what the kind of thing you're going to be seeing from Sidekick and I from this point forward. Less reporting.
So you're going to lose the beard for the third season?
What does that have to do with reporting? I'm not doing. No, I'm not losing
you
that.
said we were going to change things up a little bit.
A little
maybe
bit.
You'll lose
A little
the beard.
bit. No, I can't lose that.
Maybe color the gray, maybe.
No, I'm not doing that.
You are a dead from the
in
neck
addition
up.
to obviously this being a very special commemorative evening for us here, it's also the first night of the NFL football season.
Yep.
And we're going to have a lot of football chat in this first Frat House Sports Show. And we really do, though, need to take a look at what's happening out in NASCAR. So we're going to kick it off right there. Because, and I kind of felt it was important that we included this yet still in the show this evening, because we only have one race remaining before the chase. We were just out at the Atlanta Motor Speedway last Sunday evening, where Kyle Busch nailed down his fourth win of the season. You know, obviously that cements him. He's a complete lock in there for the chase. But as in the case, as we have talked so many times in the past couple of weeks, Sidekick, the real intrigue on the leaderboard is in the bottom of that leaderboard, and particularly the wild card spots. And that's why I felt it was important that we kept this in here this evening, because going into that final race, there's a lot of question marks right now with regard to who's going to get in the chase, who's not going to get in. All eyes really are on that wild card position. And so the first question I have for you, Brad Keselowski, is he pretty much, I mean, look, I know that he could still get in, but it's really looking remotely, in my opinion, at this point. Contrary to that, Casey Kane, is he a lock?
Okay, well, let's real
Go ahead,
quick,
go through it.
let's look who's locked in right now, okay? And then we'll get to those people that are kind of on the bubble.
Right.
And that, so our locks so far, we've got Jimmy Johnson, Clint Boyer, Kevin Harvick, Carl Edwards, Kyle Busch, Matt Kenseth, and Casey Kane. They're all guaranteed to be in the chase with at least a wild card spot.
Okay.
Casey Kane, with his 2 victories, regardless of what happens, he at least has a wild card spot.
Yeah, I would say,
because
right,
he's got
exactly.
those 2 wins.
He's locked for a wild card, right.
Now,
That only leaves one wild card open. Go ahead.
Right. Now, still alive at this point, we've got Junior, Logano, Biffle, Kurt Busch, Jeff Gordon, Martin Truex Jr., Ryan Newman, Brad Keselowski, Jamie McMurray, and Paul Menard. All right. Now, so your point, part of your question was about Casey Kane. Casey
Right.
Kane's locked.
Did we
He's
know
gonna
that?
make
Okay,
the
that's
chase.
him.
We're going to see whether he's in as a wild card or if he gets to carry those 2 wins in by getting a top 10, being in the top 10.
Gotcha.
Now, Brad Keselowski, he's 28 points behind Kurt Busch, who is currently in 10th place.
Right.
Okay. He basically needs to get a win. That plain
Do or
and
die
simple.
time for him.
Yeah.
That's it.
But this isn't a good track for him.
But even a win wouldn't guarantee it, would it?
No, a win. Well, there's probably like 5 or 6 different, how he can get in. A win is his best shot.
Right.
There's a couple other little criteria here and there, but if he gets a win, he's got a really good shot.
He
at
would
it.
be in there with the Newmans and
So,
the other
yeah.
folks that have got to win, but perhaps maybe are sitting on the bubble themselves.
Right.
So I guess Logano would be in that mix as well, right?
Right. Yep.
Okay, so you're saying yes, obviously, but even a win isn't a guarantee at this point.
Right. It
It is
not
very
a stone
possible.
cold.
It is very possible we're looking at Brad Keselowski not making the chase at all and not defending his Sprint Cup championship.
Right.
Okay.
And just for those Danica fans at home that are watching, there's no shot in hell that she's going to get into the chase this year. Just in case anybody
was curious.
Now, Junior's an interesting situation. Junior is pretty much locked unless he crashes out early and finishes in the lower 30s.
And no wins for him this year.
Exactly.
Right.
If he were to crash out early and finish in the latter 30s,
Right.
he would miss the chase. So,
All right. Now, in other news,
Holy
there was an
nightmare.
announcement the other day that Tony Stewart would be meeting with the press earlier in the week. Now, this was going to be the first time that he had actually met with the press since his accident in his Sprint Cup, or in his Sprint car. Many of us were kind of anticipating a typical Tony Stewart, surly Tony Stewart, as he meets with the press. But and I was anticipating a lot of heavy emphasis on the kind of independent and unilateral activity and decisions made by the co-owner and partner Gene Haas. Instead, Stewart seemed A-okay with everything. I mean, he came out, didn't seem to be any kind of anger, animosity, no second guessing of Gene Haas. He seemed okay. What do you make of it?
yeah, the only thing he said was that the comments that Gene Haas had made it sound like there was a bigger rift than there actually was. And while
That wasn't Gene Haas's. That was really the media.
Right. That was it's media being media.
Right.
But what was I going to say now? What he did say though, he was against it initially, but he relied on Greg Zipadelli, the competition director for Stewart Haas Racing, and Greg Zipadelli said, "Hey, we can do this. We can do this in the short time we have to do it. I don't see any problem with it." And at that, Stewart said, "Okay, if you say you can do it, then."
Obviously, though, the big issue, I would think, as an owner, always is going to be the issue of finance. When you're talking about increasing the number of cars, a number of vehicles, that's money that you got to be able to make sure that you've got in order to fund those vehicles for 36 races a season.
Right.
That has to be the biggest consideration.
Yeah, but Gene Haas has come out and said that Haas Automation is sponsoring that car.
Okay.
So he's taking it on his own.
He's saying he's going to pay for
Yep.
the whole darn thing.
Yep,
Okay.
basically it's his car.
That kit and caboodle's on you there, Gene. The only other driver movement was the announcement yesterday. Not unexpected. I had put up a teaser about it on Monday, on Labor Day, on our Frat House Sports Facebook page. Jeff Burton out of Richard Childress Racing in favor of, is it Ryan Newman? It's Ryan Newman, correct?
No, they haven't made.
They haven't made an announcement.
They haven't. It's suspected, but they have not made an announcement
Okay.
yet.
What's your thinkings on this one?
I'm a little surprised that Jeff Burton's out at RCR, but it could be good news for Ryan Newman. It may be why Ryan Newman was kind of vague when he was saying there's something going on.
Yeah.
We thought it would be Furniture Row. Now, but here's an update though on Furniture Row. Juan Pablo Montoya yesterday visited Furniture Row's facilities, and he's considered at the top of that watch list for Furniture Row. So,
Because obviously I kind of was thinking, okay, maybe Jeff Burton makes the move to Furniture Row.
it could be, but I doubt it because it's too. With that announcement just coming out this weekend,
right?
I don't know if he's necessarily on the radar for Furniture Row.
Gotcha.
Now, Furniture Row, given that they had Juan Pablo come in, and I'm sure they've got a couple other drivers they may have come by.
Mm-hmm.
They may talk to Jeff Burton. I don't know what Jeff Burton's, what he's looking to do.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a little bit weird though that it came out yesterday that Jeff Burton announced he would not be back with Robert Childress Racing.
It wasn't RCR.
And not RCR coming out and saying that. So I'm curious about what, I don't know if Jeff Burton's all got something else in the, on the burner or what exactly is going on.
That is a little
there.
unusual. You're right there.
But I mean, maybe he just said, he just confirmed what the media knew.
Right.
Somebody said, hey, we heard that you're out at RC. Well, yes, I am out. You know what I mean?
Right. Gotcha.
So.
All right. As I pointed out, one final race left this Saturday evening at Richmond. That's one final in the season, and that's before we enter the 10-race chase, which begins actually next Sunday, the following weekend. This Saturday's finale in Richmond will be aired live on ABC beginning at 6:30, and that's your cue to pick us up on fantasy. So take it away there.
Well, I will be attending this Richmond race, doing some Frat House sports reporting.
There you go. We're gonna
some live
get updates going on
tweeting maybe
on the Facebook page. All right, got a lot of that.
So
our on-the-scene reporter sidekick.
Have some good times there. Always a good time at Richmond.
Told you things were changing, huh? Look at that formatting change.
All right, so let's look at our fantasy picks for the week. So we're going to Richmond.
Yep.
Last race. For fantasy, because everybody in our fantasy league
We're all in.
is in,
Yeah.
there's really, the only thing that really counts in this race is if you win it.
Right.
So,
That's why I need to win it.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Anyway, so let's go to picks. Kevin Harvick in 17 races at Richmond. He has 14 top 10s with 3 wins.
Okay.
$28.
All right.
Clint Boyer, Uncle Mark's favorite driver, Mr. Short Track. 2 wins at Richmond, $25.
Okay.
Jeff Gordon on the bubble. He needs to get in. If you remember last year, in a dramatic, he was out and he raced his way in at Richmond. So expect to see that again this year.
Yep.
I'm not, he's going to go for the, he may not win, but he's going for the glory. You better bet he's going to roll the dice.
Oh, there's a couple that are going to be doing that. You know that.
$24.50 for Mr. Gordon. Frat House Mike's one of his favorite drivers to keep an eye on. Eric Amarola finished 8th earlier this year at Richmond, $17.25. And for the second week in a row, my lucky dog goes to Mike Bliss, a $3.25. That takes the roster to a complete $100 full.
All righty, there you have it.
And now, 4 minutes of football.
All righty, now listen, before we get into our Frat House Sports football picks for week 1, what do you say we talk a little bit of quarterbacks, huh? How about that? And let's start it off with Tim Tebow. And some would say, well, now wait a minute there, Mike. Some would say there, wait a minute there, Mike. I thought you said you were going to talk quarterbacks. The New England Patriots waited until Saturday, the very last day, to get to the 53-man roster. And on that day, that's when they cut Tebow. Now, here's my objection. It just seemed to me that it was completely obvious the guy was going to go anyhow. Why did the Patriots have to wait until the very last moment to do so? The other question I have is that obviously Tebow is not a QB. He's not an NFL QB. But I truly believe this guy has something to offer to the NFL. He's got athleticism. He could offer the NFL something. To me, I think he's just been unfairly treated, and I think the New England Patriots did it again. What's your thinking on this? I don't know. You're not coming down on my side, I don't think.
Nope. Just like last week, we talked about Kevin Kolb. I will refer to last week's statement. Na-na-na, hey, goodbye. I'm tired of talking about Tim Tebow. I don't give a flying you-know-what about Tim Tebow.
You're tired of talking about it simply because the media has made him out to be this polarizing character. To me, I think he's got an upside that he can offer something to an NFL team. That's where I come down on it.
What upside?
He could be a tight end. He could be a tight end. Wonderful fans here at the Hollywood Tavern. We love them all. Go ahead.
Don't get me started.
You got something for the quarterbacks. Go ahead.
Yep. So, Rock, we're jamming out here to War Pigs in the background, so let's keep rolling with quarterbacks.
4 minutes, man. 4 minutes.
Okay. So, our buddy Rex Ryan, the great Jets. So this week, they signed Brady Quinn. Is Sanchez done with the Jets?
Well, can I be honest with you? I don't think he should be. I think Sanchez gives them the best chance of winning. That's my personal opinion. I've always felt that way. That New York Jets team is completely dysfunctional. We have talked about it for, the better part of 2 years, and they continue with their dysfunctionality. To me, Sanchez gives them the best chance of winning. I don't know what the heck they're doing. I really don't.
Well, now, here's something interesting, though, about Sanchez this year being hurt. Do you remember what happened to Alex Smith last year?
Yes,
he got hurt. And he wound up
in comes
out
Colin
the door.
Kaepernick.
So can we see another Alex Smith?
But that was with Smith being given the opportunity to start the season. And here, it's obvious that what the Jets are trying to do is manipulate the situation. All right, I got to bring this one up. We were chatting about it the other night at the Frat House. And that's the situation with the backup up there in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers.
Yep.
It appeared that Vince Young had pretty much nailed that situation down. And in fact, many media reports had indicated it was a done deal. Young would be the backup for Aaron Rodgers. Just as quickly as it was announced, the Packers didn't about face and cut Young, much to the surprise of many, to sign Seneca Wallace, who was cut by the 49ers. I am sitting here shaking my head, and we have been over at the Frat House. I don't get this. Vince Young is in your camp for a number of weeks. He gets to know what's going on. You're going to go bring Seneca Wallace in, and he's a better option? Really?
No. Here's the question, though. They also released B.J. Coleman.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like a B.J.? Come on.
I know someone who does.
We're going to have to blow the computer.
No.
Seneca who? We got B.J. Coleman.
Oh, we got that one in it 4 minutes. Thanks very much.
I ended that one, didn't I?
Oh, you had to expect just raucous kind of stuff here at our second anniversary. Where are we? At the Hollywood Tavern.
In the village
In Huntington Valley.
Valley.
Huntington Valley, 700
Great
Huntington
crab
Pike.
legs, by the way.
You got it. What do they have?
Really great crab legs.
There you go.
there we go.
Getting good reviews on the crab legs. All right. All right, for the third year in a row, let's jump into our Frat House Sports Football Picks of the Week. Very popular segment that we've been doing. This will be the third year that we've been doing this one. And what makes it so popular is the fact that we are keeping track and accurate of the accuracy of both Sidekick and myself all through the season. And let's start it off with this evening and we're going to kick it with this evening's matchup. We got the Baltimore Ravens at the Denver Broncos this evening, 8:30. We don't normally start it off with a Thursday night game, but I felt it was important because this is a big one. Now, one of the backstories to this game you might recall is that it was originally scheduled to be played in Baltimore. Most of the time, the defending Super Bowl champion gets a chance to open up the season at home. But the Baltimore Orioles, who thought they'd be in a divisional pennant chase, well, they squawked and kicked their heels and held their breath. How did that work out for the Orioles and Baltimore fans? Well, currently the Orioles are in fourth place in the East and 4 games out of the wild card. So I would imagine There are some Ravens fans down there probably cursing them tonight.
Just a little bit pissed off.
Nonetheless, we've got my Mr. Mediocre who just got his big payday this offseason, Joe Flacco, versus the resurrected Peyton Manning. In the offseason,
Man crush.
in the offseason, Manning picked up Wes Welker from the Patriots, while the Ravens decimated their defense. Broncos lost defensive end Elvis Dumervil through a paperwork faux pas. Outside linebacker Von Miller, he's out serving a 6-game suspension for violating the substance abuse policy. And their starting cornerback champ Bailey, well, he's been ruled out for this evening's game with an injury to his foot. So Denver's defense is in a bit of flux as well. First week spreads. I don't normally put a whole heck of a lot of stock in these myself, but the Broncos are a 7.5-point favorite. Are the defending champs going to go down 0-1 thanks to the Orioles?
Well, let's do a little math lesson here, shall we? All right, so we're going to add Wes Welker, and then we're going to subtract Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, and Dennis Pitta.
Ooh, I think I know where you might be going here.
That equals the Ravens can't hold on for 4 quarters and get bucked. I'm going with the Broncos to win.
Wow. All righty. Going with the Broncos as well. I frankly think that this is a little bit, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm a little bit ticked off at the Orioles myself. I think it's a bit unfair. I think that the Ravens had a much better shot at winning this one at home. I think the Baltimore fans have something to be beefing about.
Quote Frat House Mike, nevermore.
Don't you understand?
But I'm going with the Broncos. Let's go over and take a look. Cincinnati Bengals at the Chicago Bears, and that is a 1 o'clock game on Sunday. Now, I pushed for this game to be on our roster this show, mostly because I have heard so much hype about the potential of the Bengals this season. Some reports I have read have actually projected them to be competing in the AFC Championship game. Yet the Chicago Bears, along with new head coach Mark Trestman, has his squad favored by 3 points in this Week 1 matchup. Bears are favored by 3 again. I go back to what I said before. I'm skeptical of Week 1 point spreads, but nonetheless, that's obviously, I guess maybe one could say, that's a 3-point favorite simply because it's a home field. Nonetheless, I think it should be a good matchup. Where do you see this one falling down? I think this could be one of the most intriguing games of the entire weekend.
Well, the Ginger Giant goes into Soldier Field and ruins Mark Trestman's home opener debut.
Yeah.
I'm high on the Ginger and not digging the Cutler. It'll have to be Matt Forte that delivers the win for the Bears.
Yep.
But I'm going with the Bengals to win.
As much as I would like to go with the Bears, I'm going to buy into a little bit of the media hype that I have heard over the past number of weeks. Cincinnati might just be, excuse me, ready to take that next step this season. I'm going to go with Cincinnati on this one as well.
And that's how she wrote.
What? Are you getting a little sweet on the Ginger?
You know, might be the. You know, I don't know. Maybe I'm. Yeah. All right. Now I'm not getting sweet on the Ginger at all. You can get ready, folks. You got 17 weeks of me coming after him. Let's go over. We're gonna spout a little homerism here.
It might be longer if they go to the postseason.
Let's go and take a look at the Arizona Cardinals at the St. Louis Rams. Your St. Louis Rams, 4:25 game on Sunday. As I just pointed out, we added this game because we thought we'd flaunt a little bit of homerism. And as you said the other day, out of fear that perhaps maybe it might be the only time during the entire season that we can add these guys, our guys, to the list to take a look at. Now, I for one disagree with you about the Rams.
Well, I'm just saying potentially, and we try not to. Once we get into the season, we try not to display our homerism for our team.
No, I understand, but I think you're discounting your Rams quite a bit. I think that they're going to be on our radar quite a bit this season. We've talked right here on this show on a number of occasions praising the Rams for how well they drafted. At the same time, I will say this. I believe that this is a make or break season for Sam Bradford.
Absolutely.
I really believe that. Now, at the same time, look at who they're playing this week. All right, first year new head coach of the Cardinals, Bruce Arians. Yes, a very, very talented coach. He showed that.
Absolutely.
However, it is the first year, and these are the Cardinals. Cardinals fans, listen to me. You can't be expecting too much from this team this year. If you have a better record than you did last year, that's a plus. Your Rams are a 5-point favorite on Sunday, and
Well, first, I got a little bit of a beef. So I'm surfing the internet
oh
today.
yes, here we go.
I'm surfing the internet, and I come across the USA Today's breakdown for the games this weekend. Okay, written by, excuse me, it's like choke on. Written by Nate Davis of the USA. See, I'm all choked up about it. So he breaks down the games weekend, the games on the weekend. Excuse me. And every matchup has like almost a paragraph. He gets down to the Cardinals and Rams breakdown, and the best he can come up with is St. Louis Cardinals still sound better than Arizona Cardinals. Really, you jackwagon. That's your analysis.
That's a
stupid.
disgrace.
So having said that, here is my expert
You should have just
analysis.
left it off the list. That is a disgraceful display of journalism. I couldn't agree with you more.
You know, I mean, really, everybody
It's not
else gets a
journalism, by the
paragraph.
way. It's analysis, but it's a terrible display
And that's his
of
analysis.
editorialism. It's terrible.
So here we go. The Rams are playing Fisher football right now, which means
Yep.
stiff defense. They went 4-1-1
They
in
did
the
well
division last year.
Yep.
Bruce Arians and journeyman quarterback Carson Palmer are in for a rough day. The Rams win. They've got a defense. I'm not so sure on the offense, but it's the defense that's going to keep them in games this year. So I'm going with the Rams to pick this up.
Go ahead.
And this is my bomb diggity bomb. Home
Alrighty. There we go. Yes, it's back. I told you some things weren't going to change. But now I couldn't agree with you more, and I'm going to tell you right now, take the Rams outright with the points. They're going to beat them by more than 5. Don't discount your offense. So long as Bradford can have the kind of year that he must have in order to be that franchise quarterback, and I think that's the big question mark. You've got yourself a pretty good offense. You addressed a lot of those issues in the offseason.
Yep.
Defensively, we know this team is pretty good. I'm going to tell you right now, they could be surprisingly competing in the West. And that's a rich West that we're going to be looking at in the NFC. Let's continue our homerism real quick for one more, and that's my Philadelphia Eagles against the Washington Redskins. That is the Monday night game. Remember, we have 2 of them, and the Eagles will be coming at you at 6:55. That's a change in the kickoff time. Unlike your Rams, this might just be one of the only times this season that the Eagles are on our agenda. But I think we had to include them simply because of all the hype about the innovative wizardry of the Chip Kelly offense. I'm not buying it, as you can guess. But it gets unveiled to us finally on Monday night in a full-blown interdivision tilt against the returning RG3. The preseason concern, as well as it should be, has been the Eagles' defense, particularly the secondary. We've gone back and forth as well over who's going to be the starting quarterback. You know, obviously now they're going with Michael Vick. For how long? No one really knows. The Redskins are only, and I say only, a 3.5-point favorite Monday night. The eye test tells you that the Redskins just have too many offensive weapons against a very suspect Eagles defense. All indications are that the Eagles will have to dramatically outscore all of their opponents in order to get anywhere this season. Because in order to make up for their horrible defense, they're going to have to outscore everybody. Interestingly enough, if you take a look at the line there, the over-under on the Redskins-Eagles matchup is the highest on the board at 51, so everybody else is buying that as well. Sidekick, is this one a no-brainer? 3.5 points, that's all Washington's getting. I say that's all.
Cue the $6 million man theme as I show my age. Better than he was before, better, stronger, faster. RG3 versus Vic 2.0 and Chip Kelly's quack defense. The Eagles haven't had a defense since Jim Johnson. Redskins scalped the Eagles.
Yeah. I go with the Redskins as well. As much as I might like to go with my Eagles, I got to go with my brain, not my heart. Redskins outright to win this one. They're not liking that much right here in the suburbs of Philadelphia, I'm sure. Alrighty, there you go. That's our brand new inaugural version of the Frat House Sports Show on our 2nd anniversary. And gosh knows we love bringing it. And before we jump out, I gotta throw a whole bunch of shout outs and thank yous. Let me start off with our buddy Chris down at Herb FM Sports.
Yep.
HerbFM.com. Chris did a wonderful job on Monday, Labor Day, of running a 8-hour radio marathon of previous 5 minutes at the frat houses. And it's so much appreciated. Wonderful, wonderful job there, Chris. We truly, truly appreciate it up here in Pennsylvania. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Best sleep I've had in months.
Oh, you're terrible. Wow. Oh, man, alive. The hecklers are out in force tonight here in Huntington Valley. Where are we? At the Hollywood Tavern. Hollywood Tavern.
In the
That's where we are.
village of Huntington Valley.
Huntington Valley, that's right. Another great big shout out to our buddies Jim and Carl over at CLW83.com who have been supporting us for months now. Jim helped us out with that brand new intro that you heard, and we
Great job
appreciate
on
it.
that promo.
Absolutely.
Or, I'm sorry, that entrance.
Incredible job. I've been teasing it now for a number of weeks. If you go take a look at FratHouseSports.net, you're going to see a completely different look as we unveil a brand new website. We're thrilled with it. It is absolutely, it really is beautiful. And what a great job on that one. So go take a look at it. All the more appealing now.
Yes, she is.
FratHouseSports.net. I got a couple other big shout outs. I want to throw a shout out to our crew, to Brandon and to Jen, who have been working with us now for 105 weeks. All the improvements that you have seen in this program over that period of time, if you've been following us all the way back to week 1, please don't go look at it now if you haven't already. I'm not encouraging that, but if you have, gotta thank those guys, the union crew right here. They have done a fabulous job of bringing this show to where it is right now.
Still no pay raise, no budget.
Oh my
I gotta
goodness
thank the guy
gracious.
sitting next to me who's put up with my moods and sometimes irritableness and my demands for my demands for immediate response. Thank you, my friend. What a job we have done here. This is just
Absolutely.
fabulous.
Killing me with this.
It's been a blast.
It really
How the
has.
time has
It
flown.
really has. And I can't believe it. I can't believe we're sitting here at 105 weeks and our 2nd anniversary. Many thanks. Go
I
ahead.
was going to say, and how you've grown up over the past 2 years as well. You've really matured.
Thank you, as you asked me here to color my hair and
How
shave
come
my
you're so
beard.
cantankerous today?
Many thanks to all the great folks here at the Hollywood Tavern for hosting us this evening. We appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. And all of our great fans and friends who have come out this evening to celebrate with us. Tom and Patty back there who have been heckling me all night long. Sammy and Barbara for helping us get this location here this evening. And a great big shout out to one of our biggest fans, Mark, up in New Jersey right now, but he'll be joining us for a lot of these kinds of things, hopefully in the very near future. All right, and there you go. That's our.
Wait.
Go ahead. Ainsley, what I missed?
Wait.
What I
He's
missed?
going to be joining? Wait. Do we have to talk?
No. What did I say? Did I say something wrong?
Do I need to update my resume?
Did I say something wrong? I said he'll be joining us for many of these kinds of events. Didn't that what I
Well,
said?
that's what I'm saying. Do I need to?
New mascot.
Should I start looking for a new ride?
No.
Something you want to tell me there?
No. You're not Jeff Burton. Okay. All right. You're good. You're good. All right. All right. As I pointed out, some things are going to stay the same. And one of those things that's going to stay the same is this. You got to keep us real, you got to keep us live, and you got to keep us going. We're going to catch you next week from the Frat House. See you then. I won't make any comment on this. Once Dave's done with the NASCAR fantasy stuff, I would say just roll right to 4 minutes of football. Give me the 4. Give me the 4. Give me the 4. And then as soon as it's done, Brandon, and I know it's only like what, 12 seconds, 17 seconds, I don't even think it's that long. 8 seconds, something like that. Just hit me, like give me a cue, and then I'll go right.
And I'll start to tick.
And then, right, and then at the 2-minute warning, just somebody give us the big 2 sign.
Oh, shit.
So we want a 4 and then we want a 2.